a sewing machine, we have two important parts to pay attention to. The first part is the needle mechanism. The needle mechanism is very important for any sewing machine, because if we adjust the needle mechanism poorly, then during the sewing process, the product is very likely to lose stitches. The second part is the interaction between the presser foot and the needle. This part will determine the quality of the stitches on our sewing lines, and also the smoothness of the machine. In addition, I will also guide you through some other parts of the machine. Because first, we will enter the section to adjust the needle mechanism. In the needle mechanism section, we have two parts that need adjustment: needle depth and the timing between the shuttle and the needle. And now we will move on to the needle depth adjustment part. The needle depth of a single needle machine is adjusted as follows. When you turn the needle down to its lowest position, you should still see this, the eye of the needle. Here, this is the eye of the needle. Then, between the eye of the needle, it will align with this line of the shuttle here, this line here. You can see it when we turn the needle down each time. There, the line on the top edge of the shuttle. It will align with the middle point of the needle eye. This is the standard point. So, you can also, depending on some fabrics, you can make it a bit deeper. That means it can align with the top edge of the needle eye. Or you can make it a bit shallower, aligning with the bottom edge of the needle eye, but here, I will guide you to adjust it standardly in the middle of the needle eye, here, the needle eye, here, you see it rotating slowly here. It will lie right between the edges of the shuttle, here, this is the edge of the shuttle. And this is the needle eye here. That's it, you understand adjusting this part. The needle depth. So, on some machines, they also have a needle bar that has markings to help us adjust, but some machines don't have it. Then we will align it in this direction. So, to adjust this needle index, on the needle bar, we will have a screw to adjust. So, this is the front of our machine. When we open the cover of the machine head out, we will see this is the screw for us to adjust the needle depth. When we loosen this screw, then the needle depth will loosen. We can either raise it or lower it. Here, I will open it for you to see, here. Can you see it going up and down here? So, we open it up. Adjust the needle depth to standard. And when we see it as correct, then we start trying to tighten this angle, we tighten it to make it stable. The needle shaft we use during the sewing process. Then it 1T melt. That's it, we redone with the part that adjusts the axis. Then after you guys needle depth adjustment is complete. Now comes part 2 of part a nose generator, that is. You adjust the time between Kim and the hook. So at this point you will adjust as follows. When you shoot, needle down to the bottom. I'll rotate it so you can see it. Here the Kim goes all the way down. And Kim started going up the hill when Lau came here. We'll eat about 1/3 of Kim S sketch from below Kim S eyes up here. I will show you. Here you divide the groove into the beveled part of the needle. Come out in 3 parts. The standard one is to take 1/3 from below Kim S eyes. There you see hip. Drive mine rush to January 3rd. That's the standard part of mosquito capture time between Nest and Kim. This You remember when we turn Kim all the way down. And when the needle goes up, the beak will wipe 1/3. You can also adjust a little earlier. Ha means you guys can be for it. Eat about half or a little later, depending on the item you choose. But for the standard, you should take about 1/3. Then you can sew most items. This is the moment between Tiger and Kim. Then in order to adjust this drive, we will. The socket will have 2 screws for us to adjust. Then to adjust this drive we will have 3 screws for adjustment. This. Hasai, let me relax for the first time, guys. This is the second snail. And this is the third screw, it only has it on some machines. If there are 2 children, you will also open those 2 children. Oh, correct. Then when Kim comes up it starts, guys. Edge into manual adjustment. And it is time for it to guide you. And you also need to pay attention when you edit. When the time is right, you should keep an eye on it. Gap between the needle and the hook. Dear friends, remember. Don't ever put the needle in the nest and touch it, it points to A. Just close together, not touching each other. Ha, it is about 2. 3G or whatever. Do you sew thin items or thick items? If the goods are thick and the thread is large, please give A. Its hole is a little far away from our A. But if you have thin or small items, then you should watch out. Lo and Kim are a bit close together. But absolutely don't let it touch each other. Because if you collide, you run for a long time. Then it will cause your drive to be scratched, damaged, or maybe it is broken. If you get too close, you will be lucky to break the needle. If you remember carefully, let us watch for it to be close. And then we tighten these 3 screws together. So it is time for our drive to be empty. After we finish adjusting the nose muscles. Now let us move on to the second important part. That is the step between Kim and the donkey. So if you don't adjust this part correctly, then your scene will be very bad. Can be floating only or broken only. And make the glide of your device disappear. Luck will be very good. Dull. Then say. The steps in Kim and his friend are adjusted as follows. When you turn Kim down with the moon. At the same time, the upper edge. Here this is the top edge of. Well, equal to the donkey must be equal to the moon. That is the standard that you can adjust. Then to adjust it. This is the step between Kim and the donkey. We will adjust as follows. Then to adjust the step between Kim and the donkey ring. Then we will open the back cover of the RA machine. Here, open the RA cover of the RA device. There are some older machines. Then its lid will be above here. Ha, then we will open the top cover. As for this machine model, we will open the side cover. And the newer Yuki or Pro machines now. We also have lid. Also designed a lid on this side. We're going to open this lid. Well, after opening the lid, you will see it. This part here. Ha, here this is the eccentric cam. What does it say? Oh, say that's off-center. Instead you can see this is. This part is very low but still. When you spin another half line it is very high. Just look at the machine and see what parts it has. It has like this. That is the eccentric cam of Donkey and Kim. Then you open these 2 screws so you can adjust them. You can be open. And then you rotate back and forth. Open. Open. And then you will keep this screw. Rotate needle, rotate cup hammer. Here I will edit it for you to see. And now I will open the R8 and these snails. Rotate for you to see. Do you see? When I open the screw and turn it, only Kim moves. You don't move, you see. There, and when you see. Right at the right time to adjust. You turn it down there and you tighten the screw. Then you tighten the screws to check this. Then that's okay. And what if? If you adjust it this time like me. Here as an example. Kim hasn't come down yet, but she's already diving and seeing her hips. So it's the standard size. Then you have to open it and edit it. This is still a little late, but a little early. That's okay. That's the standard step. In addition, you can also adjust a little early or a little late, depending on your sewing thread. If your thread is only thin and small, then you should adjust it to standard. But if your thread is too big, and your product is too thick, then you should adjust it. Let us say it's a little late. That means when Kim descends on the moon, is as good as a donkey and has not yet dived as much as the moon. I will edit it for you to see. Here and there, metal energy equals moon brackets. But you haven't cheated yet, but you haven't gotten off yet. But you should remember not to adjust too late. It's about like this, okay? I edited this a bit late. I will correct it so you can see. See, this is how it fits. 4 large thread lines. Please adjust it so late. Then the escape rate is very good. For some thick items. If the index is large, you should adjust it for A. The step between Kim and his donkey was a bit late. The thread we sew is very beautiful. But if you adjust too late, it could be that the thread is broken. That or it broke Kim. Broken Kim, but because of you Kim. Already down, but by the comb you were still up. If you push the fabric, of course the needle will break. So you guys, we should remember, it only takes a little bit to adjust early or late. Don't have too much. That's not good, that's the end of that part. Walked between Kim and his friend. That box is 2 basic parts. Is also the most important part of a 1 needle machine. I have finished instructing you. Now you can edit the machine a Kim. The most basic way. Then in the next video I will guide you. Edit and calibrate the thread cutter unit of electronic Kim carpentry machine A. If any of you don't know or want to know about it, edit the treatment part. Then remember to watch my next video. Goodbye.